people me attack. It's politics time again now. Are you gonna vote now? Deal with love and not war. It's the right and it's the duty of a citizen to vote. I burn them constitution like time it did a joke. Fed up of promises and hopeless hope. Ballot box must be empty, vote house closed. No one arm, no one choose the color of them clothes now. But some just plain greedy. No matter how we teach, they'll forget easier. Look, it's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? Deal with love and not war. We all shall vote, yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's Rasta, then talking. Look here, bloodshed from Rima. Down in the valley, got me here, yeah. Greg John has become a gunman compound. No place for people with citizenship, Lord. Them crying relentlessly, yeah. People moving every minute, every hour. Gunshot falling like hell shower. Oh, yeah. Putting the nuclear power. It's politics time again. Well, are you gonna vote now? Good people need talk. It's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? Ooh. And a little one, we want. And a little preach, we preach. Still they bust up their big guns on the streets, Lord. Killing people.
It's politics time again. Greetings, good afternoon, good evening. Big up all the cities, Westchester, big there, massive all over. Let me just tell you, it's politics time again. Are you going to vote now? Yes, you're going to have to vote. The day is the 23rd of June, and it is very soon. It's soon. You got to make a difference. You got to come out and exercise your franchise. That we are about here to talk about politics. It's the countdown to election 2020 in the Spice Island of Grenada. Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, are you ready for politics time? Real politics on Real FM. And the real deal is the man, Winston Frederick, talking about St. Patrick's West. And he's coming with a difference. He's making a difference. The man is in live, real, in living color in studio to make a difference with us. Also, Nabi's here. And Sally, we are about to big up all the massive and all the crew. That's how we're going to do it for you, just for you. The Spice Man, Bob Frederick, live and direct right here in the studio of Real FM. And that's as real as you can be, as real as you can get. Real FM, back home. I want to big up the man, Andre Donald. Andre D, what's happening, partner? How you doing, man? It's a long time coming. Everything happens in time. That's why Bob Frederick is live and direct from New York straight to Grenada. Big up all massive and all crew. And that's what we're about to tell you about the man, Winston Frederick. That's the real deal. And he's live, real in living color in studio right here. Let's gonna say hi to Winston, the man, Winston Frederick. Winston, greetings, welcome.
Good afternoon, Bob. How are you?
Yeah, greeting, man. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Yes.
And things are happening. You doing things, bro? You doing things, brother?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Nabi, what's happening, Nabi?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good in the neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Just the way you should. And Sally, say hello. Hello, Sally.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. It's nice to be here, Uncle Bob.
Yeah,
It's good to be here. It's the one and only Bob Frederick.
That's the man, live and direct. Often imitated, but never ever quite duplicated. This is the original, baby. Let's talk about what's going on. So it's election time, but you know, your history. Just want to recap a little bit of your history because people gonna say, well, Winston Frederick is new, he's fresh, but the man have, politics in his genes. His father was a famous politician here in Grenada. Everybody know the man, Winston Frederick.
That's right, Bob. That's right.
Winston Frederick did a lot in terms of in Grenada in politics. He made a difference, but he had his mark. And now, that's your dad. Now, you continue in that tradition of Winston Frederick, the man known as Winty. Now, here's Winston Frederick, Winty Jr. Winty Jr. making a difference for the people of St. Patrick's West. And that is the real deal. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you intend to do for the people of St. Patrick's West. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone in St. Patrick West. It's a pleasure being here with our host, Bob Frederick, Nabi Wells, and my wife, Salisha Frederick. It's been a journey, from since 2019 on the ground, committed to serving the people of St. Patrick West. And, going around house to house, door to door, meeting with people, speaking with them, listening to them, and understanding the struggles that they face day by day. And, when you're able to sit and listen to the people, not just being told, but when you sit one-on-one with someone and they share their views, they share how they feel, uncut, raw, nothing tainted, just pure one-on-one with the people. You tend to sit back and think and say, wow, why wasn't I doing this before? Why wasn't I part and parcel before? But the good thing is that I'm here and I've been committed and thoughtful and motivated to make sure that we take St. Patrick West to their true potential.
Okay. Well, well said. And I want to tell you something. Nothing happens before it's time.
That's right.
And timing is everything. And once the time is right, nothing can stop you. Nothing as great as an idea whose time has come. And it's your time now. I mustn't say you're a young man, you have energy, you're ready, you're vibrant, ready to make a difference. You're ready to work for the people of St. Patrick's West. And that's very important because that's what I want to deal with. We talk about politics time again. To me, politics is about people. And if you're a people person and you're willing to work for the people, that's all that matters. When it comes to education for the young, creating opportunities with like community centers, working with the people in your constituency, that is what I'm concerned about. A people person, and that's what I know you are. That's why I'm here with you, because I want to see you give the service to the people of St. Patrick's West. And people of St. Patrick West, I'm calling on each and every one of you. It's so important that you come out on election day and exercise your franchise, your right to vote, and please come out early. I'm told that the polls are open at 6 a.m. Get there as early as possible. Do your thing. Vote for the man, the real deal. That's why I call him the real deal. From now on, St. Patrick West, when you say the real deal, Winston Frederick is the man, the real deal for St. Patrick West. And he's going to make a difference for St. Patrick West. And I know he will. I want to bring in at this point in time, Nabi, say hi to the man, Winston, the real deal, Frederick.
Hello, Mr. Frederick.
Hello, Nabi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Nice having you here.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah.
So you're home.
Yeah.
I could probably say that here.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the man Andre Donald, how you feeling, bro? Hope you're feeling all right. It's a good thing. I'm happy to be here. It's a long time. We talk about me being here live in studio, and here am I, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm all yours, people. People of St. Patrick, people of St. Patrick West in particular. I want to reach out to you. I want you to listen to this young man, a man with a vibrant and lots of potentials, and he's really willing and able to work for you. I know you will do a good job for the people because your heart is good and clean, and that's it. Tell me some of the needs of you want to address for St. Patrick West. Things that we need up here, St. Patrick West. way you'll be strong and you'll walk in towards them?
One of the first things I would like to look at, and on International Nursing Day, you know, I decided to head to the medical station in Sautez. And my reason for heading to the medical station was to say thank you, show some gratitude to the nurses that are committed in providing a service to the people. And not just a service, but a caring service, a service of rehabilitation, of wound care, right? A service of even life-saving. And I thought that, you know, I could have been somewhere else, but I chose to go down to that medical station and be part of that International Nursing Day with the nurses that every day wake up to give us service to the community. And this is one of the areas that I would put priority to, is the healthcare. Because
very important.
I believe that we should have a national insurance scheme where everyone has benefits. I wouldn't delve into it because it will take some time to dissect and explain. But what I can say to you for St. Patrick West is that we need to encourage our nurses. We need to equip them. We need to bring the resources that is needed to them, that they can go out into the communities. Look at for instance, the medical station in Snell Hall. I mean, you have a medical station that is shut down to a few hundred or a few thousand people from Hermitage, Mount Rich, Mount Rule. Snell Hall does not have a medical station. If in case something does happen.
You serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
The medical station is shut down.
Wow.
So everything now is focused on the medical station in Sautez. So God forbid that if something does happen to a young mother and her child, she has to now find transportation from Mount Rich or Mount Rule or Snell Hall to come down to get a medical station.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Wow.
And the sad thing is, only on weekends is the medical station in Sautez open 24 hours.
Oh.
So during the week, it's closed at 7 or 8 o'clock. So
what happened when somebody gets sick after 7 or 8 o'clock?
well, they would have to travel to Maribo.
Wow.
You know, and these are the things that is priority to me. These are the things because, you know, I understand the struggles of the people, and I understand that, yes, we might not be the wealthiest society, but with a little bit of allocation and a little bit of thinking, how do we create some form of comfort to our citizen by allocating the right funding? Because our government spends over 70 million plus a year on healthcare.
Wow.
But yet still, we're in short supply of the necessities that is needed to operate a medical station. So obviously, something is wrong.
Healthcare is a must.
Of course.
Healthcare is a must.
You know, healthcare.
Adequate healthcare is a must. Availability, accessibility to the healthcare stations. People being there, opening up, working for the people. Anything can happen anytime.
Absolutely.
And we all need healthcare.
Of course.
Everybody.
Of course.
Especially the elderly.
Of course.
You know, young baby, everybody. You know.
And healthcare is not a privilege.
No.
Healthcare is a right. That's an obligation on the leadership of the country, the government, to make sure that it protects not only the right of its citizens, but also the health of its nation. Because without a healthy nation, we lose our productivity and our performance.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, well said. And we can deal with that much more in detail at another time. But in essence of time, interest of time, we got to keep moving on. We got to keep moving. We got to keep moving on. So let's just move on to another area, education for especially the youths, about, educating our youth. That's the future. That's tomorrow's people. What do you have planned for improving the educational system here in St. Patrick West?
Well, first we have to diversify our educational system in the sense of we are programmed just for academic. We're living in the 21st century where we have so much other interest, such as skill training, that we know that everyone would not be academically inclined. So by us everyone not being academically inclined, we know that we must have some form of diversification. So in the sense of how do we create programs that will benefit our kids? We have young girls and boys who are doing CPA. How do we create programs and using the elderly, those who have retired, to buffer or to create some form of assistance or support or guidance for those young ones? How do we also delve into the skill training that our young men and our young women who is saying, listen, we just don't want to be lawyers and doctors and teachers. We want to be fishermen. We want to be a builder. We want to be an electrician. We want to study how to use AI technology, IT,
Right.
how to program. Because this is what we are all made of. We should not have a curriculum that dictates how we should grow or how we should build. The curriculum should be diversified and open, that we give each and every child an opportunity to choose his or her own path and to develop and grow.
Right.
And allow them to have some form of autonomy, that they're not told this is the best way and this is how you have to go. No, because we're growing, we're in a technological era. We're not in an industrial stage where we need brawn strength. No, we have machines where technology requires finesse, which is different. And I'm saying finesse because I don't want people to translate finesse with feminism. Right. Finesse and feminism are two different things.
Exactly.
Because finesse is more skill. So you use your hands, you operate machines, through technology and all these things. So we're no longer in the brawn industry, such as industrialization. So we need to hold on to these opportunities. And by holding on to these opportunities, we now can build and grow and create stronger people for our society. Because we're at this stage, and those of us who came from an academical background can say, listen, we are told to become a lawyer, become a doctor, become a teacher. But we have grown, we have evolved as human beings. And because we are in a technological era, the human being is the most comfortablest at this point than it has ever been in the history of mankind at present.
Right. That's Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick's West. So get ready, people. He is ready for you, to work for you, to make a difference in our community. All right. While you're on that note of education, I just want to touch on vocational training, because not everybody into the academics.
Right.
Excuse me. Sometimes, you have people, young people, vocational opportunities. What's about plans for trade? People want to do a trade, a carpenter, mason, construction, other areas that could get involved in.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to be university.
Right.
There are many levels of education,
Right.
especially today with technology. So how about vocational training for young people?
Absolutely.
For anybody.
For anybody.
You could be young, you
Yeah.
could be old, you could be elderly, you could be, you're never too old to learn, you're never too old to earn. You could learn at any age.
Absolutely.
Learning is continual.
Of course.
It's growing.
Absolutely.
We learn throughout our lifetime. But go ahead.
We here in Grenada, we have the college in Palmas, the Nulo. Yes, sorry, my mind is racing. In Nulo, and we also have a Nulo in St. Patrick.
Okay.
And there's and the skill training, and I give credit to the teachers in those schools because they try and they do well. And I visited Nulo in Palmas, and the skill training that I see that is taught there we need to invest in this and just lift the standard of what we have started. Because we shouldn't settle just as where we are. Because I see the potential, and even in the teachers and the students that I was able to see build and create and shape and mold furniture, is to tell you that we are no different than any other furniture builder outside of Grenada. But what we're lacking is the technology, the support, and the infrastructure. We have partnership with Germany, who built its empire on vocational training. And if we want to lift the standard of our vocational system in Grenada, we need to partner with those that we are already allies with and allow them to share what they have built, their technology, with us, that we also can aspire and build on that par that we can compete anywhere in the world. Because once we do that, if our students choose to travel anywhere, they don't have to go and do another course or go back to school or anything like that, because the education of the vocational school would be accredited enough that once they reach to a different country, that will be accepted. And these are the things that we have to strive for, and not just talk about it, but really act on it. And it doesn't cost anything. Because one, we already have relationship with Germany. GIZ is here in the ministerial complex.
Wow, okay.
So why is it so hard that we cannot have communication with them and say to them, listen, we want to develop our vocational school. We even have China as an ally. That's here as well. And who also can partner with us to develop our vocational skills.
So we definitely got things to do. We got plans. I like how you're singing. I like where we're going. And, let me just tell you something. I like this thing about, you're working with young people. They will learn skills that would take them any part of the world for life.
Of course.
It's good that they stay here in Grenada and help develop Grenada.
Of course.
But when you give them these basic skills, a trade for life, they could take it elsewhere.
Of course.
There's different levels of education.
Of course.
Okay, while we are not, because I just want to touch bulletin points on key subject, key things. Another important thing that I've noticed here in Grenada, at one time Grenada was heavy into agriculture. I noticed agriculture is kind of lacking, is on the back burner, is not being pushed. What would you do, or what could you do for the people of St. Patrick's West? on agriculture?
This topic is a very, I mean,
Close to your heart?
yeah,
Yeah.
touching topic.
I know your
because,
dad.
You
Your
know,
dad
I
was
grew up in agriculture.
Yeah, and
you
your
know,
excuse me, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
Your dad, I want to tell you, was very passionate about agriculture.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, there you go, man. You're a
Yeah.
son of the soil. In true sense of the word.
Exactly.
You're a son of the soil.
You know, agriculture is one of the areas, the sectors that is very dear to me because, you know, I lived with it. I grew up with it. It was a part of me, you know, from my inception. Not something that I went to learn in school, not something that someone taught me and then I learned it from outside. I grew up with it. I was born into it. Seeing my dad have a estate, picking up nutmeg. My granddad also had farmlands that I would go out there, work, pick cocoa, and people might say, wow, you know, maybe you haven't worked hard, but I could tell them my skin got bitten many times by red ants with a bag of cocoa on my back or a bag of nutmeg on my back. Those 200-pound bags, carrying them. Where the Land Rover couldn't go in the mountain, we had to carry them to the Rover.
Well, I know about that too. Red ants, black ants. I know about all them things, man.
You know? So, but on a serious note, you know, we really have to do something about agriculture. Because here's the thing, and I will just take you back in history. Just go back a little bit. We inherited an agricultural country from those who came before us.
Right.
And they were placed here, those that were here before, and there are those that came after. And they were placed here to toil the soil. And they built a nutmeg industry, they built a citrus industry, and they built a cocoa industry.
And they had bananas too.
And the banana industry, that's right. And I should know better than anyone else because my dad used to go and purchase banana to sell on the geese boat.
Geese boat used to be coming down here to pick up banana.
Exactly.
I mean, the banana trade is no longer there now, but we still have other crops like nutmeg, cocoa.
Yeah.
Still could be exported.
So all of this, we inherited it from our colonial masters.
Right.
When Sir Eric Gary came in, he also inherited an agricultural industry. When Morris Bishop came in, he also inherited an agricultural industry. And he went a step even further. They decided to do a light manufacture, a light agro processing of the fruits and vegetables we had here.
Right.
After the new administration came in, agriculture was still there, but it wasn't as sought or looked after because now we were transitioning into a more service industry, tourism, hospitality.
Right.
When Ivan came in 2004, it created havoc on Grenada. It destroyed a lot, even in my father's estate, you know, it threw down a lot of the trees and stuff like that and everything. But what was needed was that we had to focus on rebuilding our agricultural sector. One, because this is what we knew. This was our inception. Did they try hard enough? I would say they did not try hard enough. Did they have the support? Did they have the funding? Yes, they did. But I believe that they could have done a little bit more.
Okay.
Right? We have the cocoa industry, the sector, also, that's there. I also believe that they could have done a little bit more. Did they have the resources to do it? Absolutely. Because after Ivan, Grenada had a lot of funding from outside donors to come in. we fast forward presently. We don't have a light agro farming, processing plant, because all that is gone. We do have a processing plant in St. David's, Windfresh, but in order to get that up and running, we must plan and we must replant. Because in order to do agro processing, it's not that we would produce today and then 2 weeks later we have to wait for produce to be harvested and then come to be turned into a valid added product. So we must plan and we must decide which way we want to go forward.
All right, listen. Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick's West. Get out on election day. That's June 23rd. Exercise your franchise. Let your voice be heard. Make your voice be known. And vote for the man, Winston Frederick, the real deal. Real deal on the radio. It's 91.9 FM, the real FM. And we getting as real as can be. Let's just deal with that. Some people, I'll be a little devil advocate right now.
Right.
Devil's advocate. Some people are telling me, because I had this conversation with people, I say, why are we not pushing agriculture? I mean, we could diverse, we could do tourism, do all the other things, technology, but agriculture, we're still a beautiful island. The soil is great. Grenada, we have great soil. You know? I've been through the Caribbean. Many places don't have, Aruba don't have that kind of soil like Grenada. Even Trinidad, you know, I was talking to some friends in Trinidad. They say, listen, man, in Grenada, this soil is so good. And the fruits, and they talk about the productivity here in Grenada. I just want to be a little devil's advocate right now. Right. They talk about the youths wouldn't go walk land. How could we get the youths, how could we change or scientific, how could we get the youths, get them involved into agriculture? We have to change. We know we have to change. I mean, the youths going out and working the land, but in a different way. Give me some ideas where we can improve agriculture, at the same time get youths involved and make a decent living.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The youths, you know, people would say it's a challenge,
right?
Because the youths are venturing off into, like I said earlier, we're in a technological era, and there are other things that attract or might seem to be more attractive. We have construction, we have working in hotels, hospitality, we have entrepreneurs, young people who want to start their own businesses and all this kind of things. Agriculture does not seem or look attractive to them.
Right.
One, because there's a process. Nothing happens within the next day. You know, if you go to do a job, you might get paid in a week. With agriculture, it takes time because one, you have to till the soil, you have to get the seedlings up, you have to plant it, you have to protect it, you have to fertilize it, you have to water it before it develops and start harvesting. So you would not tend to find everyone who has that patience or who have that time.
Precisely.
So the notion that, the youths don't want to. I mean, come on, the youths don't want to do a lot of things. You know, you can't force anyone. But in order for them to come into it, it must be attractive. So now you have to tie the business sector into the agricultural farming. Because it must be run to where there's a profit that can be made. There must be avenues explored that, such as the soursop. Look at Grenada is the only country in Latin America and the Caribbean that can export soursop in its natural form. Wow. All we have to do is just wash it, clean it, and ship it out. Right? Now, have they encouraged soursop planting? Absolutely. They have. And I'm not going to say they haven't, they have. But how many youths are out there willing to do that? And the second thing is, how many of the young people have enough land or has inherited enough land to start planting? Because it's one thing to say the youths don't, it's difficult for us to get them into agriculture. But the most of the youths that want to do agriculture, they don't have any land.
Right.
So how are they going to do agriculture when all they have sometimes is the backyard of their grandmother's house or the backyard of their parents' house? How much can they plant to make a profit? Because we're not doing it just for planting's sake. If a man toils, he must get the benefit of it.
Precisely.
He's not just toiling just to say, hey, unless it's a hobby, you want to plant as a hobby in the backyard, you go and you want to disperse it to your friends and for bragging rights, oh, look how big the peppers I did and stuff like that. But if we're looking at an industry that can propel our economy, we have to look at it seriously. And it's not just the youths. It's everybody getting involved. And we got to stop saying, oh, the youths don't want to get involved in agriculture. Then create an opportunity for them.
Right.
Show them, get the banks on board and say, listen, we know that it is a high risk investment because it takes time. It's not like a regular job where you go into a company and work and you know at the end of the month you guarantee that money. The farming is different. So how you mitigate that? By saying, okay, let's bring greenhouses in. So we know the risk is reduced.
Right.
Because we don't, as present climate change has affected us tremendously.
Exactly.
Because of the different weather patterns. We're not getting up to where we're guaranteed it's going to be sunny today. We're not getting up where we're guaranteed it's not going to rain. Before we could have predicted that. Now it's a little bit different. So we have evolved and there's so many things we have to understand and work with. So if we're really going to focus on the youths and say, how do we move agriculture forward? We also need to get the banks involved. We also need to get business schooling involved because we have to teach our young people how to create and develop a business. Because that's what farming is.
Yeah, right. Business.
Of course. I mean, my father used to sell how much? I mean, I remember we used to sell 2,000 to 4,000 pounds of nutmeg. And back then, the nutmeg was paying 39 cents a pound.
Right.
But the only thing is that they had a huge back pay. At the end of the year, they would get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in back pay.
I remember that around Christmas.
You understand?
Right.
So that was an incentive because we traded. We said, okay, we would pick up the nutmeg, we manure the nutmeg, we do all what we're supposed to do, and when it starts time for harvest, we're going in and sell it, but we know at the end of the day we're getting something for it. How can we get our young people involved knowing that, hey, this is not happening for us in a week?
Right.
Do you understand?
Right. I understand one time nutmeg was $5 a pound here in Grenada. But what's today? How much a pound for nutmeg today? About $3?
Yeah,
Okay.
about $3.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and that has to do with, you know, and this is why, you know, we need to take a hard look at ourselves because we cannot take anything for granted. At one point, Grenada was the second largest exporter of nutmeg next to Indonesia. At one point,
Right.
we have dropped to probably 39 on that scale.
Wow. We have a lot of work to do.
Of course, because
Listen.
one, we have new players on the market.
Right.
We have China growing nutmeg. We have India growing nutmeg. Because don't think, and the thing about we have to understand, when you're up on top, you have to maintain being on top. It's constantly innovating, finding new ways, finding new ideas. How do we redefine ourselves in order to maintain the level we're at? And if we're not willing to do that, obviously someone else, because when you're on top, remember there's steps or there's stairs or there's stages in that ladder that you have to climb that brings you up a notch every time. And know that there are people or countries out there that's trying to climb that same ladder that you're on.
Exactly.
And they're fighting for success just like you.
So you always got to be fine-tuning your thing. You got to be fine-tuning and consistency. You just got to keep it going.
Absolutely.
Maintenance.
Of course.
Yeah. You can't just take it for granted.
You can't.
That's right. Lots to talk about right here on Real FM. 91.9 FM. The real deal. Let me tell you. Winston Frederick. The real deal for St. Patrick's West. On election day, that's next Thursday, right?
That's right.
The 23rd. The word is, people of St. Patrick's West, you go to polls bright and early. Make your vote for Winston Frederick, the real deal, the man that's going to make a difference in our community. The man, somebody that's here to work with you, for you, in the community. Make a difference for the youths, for the elderly, for everybody, senior citizens, people of all walks of life. You got a voice. You got a choice. The man, Winston Frederick, the real deal. And we urge you to go out and vote. Exercise your franchise. Next week, Thursday, do that thing. And we're not here to bash anybody or any politician. We're not about that. We're about what could we do for our country, for our consistent constitution. What could we do? And that's what it's all about. Making a difference in our community. That's right. Hey, Nabi, how is it going now? Anything you would like to say? I want you to come in the picture, man. Nabi.
I'm just listening, you know.
Okay.
I always like to hear when Winston speaks.
Yeah.
It gives you hope and inspiration to go out there and do things. It gives you that extra boost that you need.
When the man speaks, everybody listens.
Yes, indeed.
Winston, the man, Frederick. Witty.
Yes, Bob.
Sally, what you got to say, man? How Winty doing?
Oh, he's doing excellent. He's doing excellent. You know, you just have to sit and listen. He captures you with what he's saying. You know what he's saying is truth. You know what he's saying is stuff that he would have seen in the community, and you know that he wants to make a difference because he speaks from the heart. So I'm just here intrigued and listening to everything that he has to say, because I'm learning along and I'm listening to all the ideas, because I know he's going to be able to bring this country forward in St. Patrick's West.
St. Patrick's West, get ready. A change is coming. It's about time to make a difference. You know, some people say, tell me, independent man can win, an independent man can do a different. But tell me what an independent man, independent candidate, make a difference in our community.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, as you said that, it put a smile on my face because, you know,
well, hold on. Yeah. I'm telling you what I'm getting out there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we gonna beat the odds, because a difference. Once you're with the people and the people with you,
absolutely,
you don't have to worry about nothing.
Absolutely.
Underdog. I love being with the underdogs. And if you people think, well, underdogs, they don't do, that's a different. You know, we may not have a giant kind of marketing strategy, but we could make a difference because you are genuine with the people. Absolutely. Once you have the people of St. Patrick West, that's who I'm talking to. Once they're with you on your side and you with them, you're intertwined, you could make a difference in our community. That's a big difference. Go ahead.
That's right. And I want to take you back a little bit in history, because we have to go back in history sometimes to see where we are at present.
That's how you learn. You got to know your roots. A tree without roots cannot stand.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
There is a gentleman who was born in 1887 and passed away in 1958. His name is Theophilus Albert Marischal.
T.A. Marshall, man.
T.A. Marshall.
That's the man.
That's right. This gentleman was one of the stalwarts for creating what we would call the Federation of the
Right.
West Indies.
Exactly.
That Grenada, Barbados, and Trinidad, the Windward Islands and Leeward Islands benefited from. This gentleman wrote legislation to London, to the Queen, to the King actually, because it was King Louis or King, I can't exactly remember the king itself, but he wrote legislation to create what we would call the Woods Commission that Grenada and other islands benefited from. He wrote legislation which allow the Caribbean to have different councils. This same Theophilus Albert Marischal won his seat in St. George for 33 years, held that seat as an independent candidate.
Wow. Amen to that.
Not with a party, but as an independent candidate. Now, when we are nominated on nomination day, everyone, whether you're with a party, whether you are independent, you are nominated as a candidate to be represented in an upcoming election. You're asked, what symbol would you be vying with? My symbol is the hand. You are asked, are you an independent or are you with a party? When we are elected, whether you're in a party or you're an independent candidate, you become a representative for that constituency, which entitles you to be a member of parliament.
Amen
Right?
to that.
You become a member of parliament.
Amen, my brother.
Everyone that is elected by the people, it's not the party that goes into government, it's a candidate that becomes the member of parliament, the representative of the constituency. So the notion that an independent candidate cannot do anything is preposterous, because when you go in as a member of parliament, you become the representative of that same said constituency. The difference is, as a independent, one is that you do not subscribe to the party prejudices that happen as a party member. Because if you're a party member, you now have to follow the constitution of that party. So if the leader decides, say, that we're going to go south, there's very little that you can do but to either sit silent or decide to change the course or the direction with the leader. Not publicly, but with the leader. But an independent candidate, if the leader of whatever government or whatever party that's might be in power have that seat as the ruling government, the independent candidate, because he or she may not be tied, is not tied into a party, he can force the hand of however the leader chooses to go, in the sense that a government shapes and frame policy, right? That's
Right.
the role of a member of parliament,
Right.
to shape and frame policy that will affect the majority of persons or people within the country or each constituency. That's the role of a member of parliament, to shape the policies. Now, if they are shaping policies that does not benefit the majority of people, the independent candidate can say, listen, this is not benefiting us, and we need to rethink how we going forward with this policy. Do you think a party member can do that? Absolutely not, because he's challenged by the leader. So the power of an independent candidate is so powerful that the backing he has of the people, because he's not just going there as himself, he's going there as the people that is standing behind him, the constituency.
Well, on that note, I want to reach out because you can make a difference. People of St. Patrick's West, get ready for Winston, the real deal Frederick, ready to vote on the 23rd of June. That's next week, Thursday, bright and early. You going out. Once you're registered, you have to exercise your franchise, your right to vote. That's a right you have. Nobody could take that away from you. So use it. Don't lose it. Use it. And don't wait after election and say, well, you didn't do that. No. Get out early and vote for the man. Winston, the real deal Frederick, making a difference in our community. We can make it happen. Things can happen.
Absolutely.
And there you get a point, the independence. Being an independent candidate, nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
Over the years, people identify with a party, and that's okay. That's okay. We're not here to knock any party. We're not about that. We're about politics and people. And we're talking to people about policies we can deal with, things that are needed in our community, and we're willing to address it. And you have a man willing to commit himself to his community. That is a real politician, in my opinion. When you're willing to serve the people and the people willing to work with you, nothing is greater than that bond, that unity. And when you have that bond, that unity, you build community. That's where it starts,
Absolutely.
with community and constituencies. And then you could build a country. Then you could go in building,
Absolutely.
But it starts charity. They say charity begins at home. That is charity at home.
Absolutely.
So on that note, Brother Winston, I just like the way you song. I like the things you're willing to do. You're a young man, vibrant, full of vigor, ready to make for action. And that's what we're going to do. We have a couple of people I'd like to say hi to. Sherma, right here, Miss Sherma, right down by the restaurant at the bus terminal in Sauters. I want to say hi to Sherma. I want to say hi to, hey, Mabel. How you going, Mabel? Let's big up Mabel. And big up everybody, Sauters. I want you to call some of the places you're covering in St. Patrick West, some of the neighborhoods. Let's reach out for Shanty Mel, everybody. Everybody.
For Red
reach
Mud,
out for the people.
Mel,
Red Mud.
Davy, Land Settlement, Mount Rich, Mount Rule, Hermitage, Snell Hall, Marley, Lamode, Celeste,
Some parts of Duquesne do, where St. Patrick starts, in the little parts of Duquesne. Big up Duquesne!
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, just to continue a little bit on the independent candidate, because,
I wanted you to address that because I'm hearing this kind of, an independent candidate cannot win. Yes, an independent candidate could win because the independent candidate will work with the community. Absolutely. You go ahead. You address that.
Because as we have went down memory lane through our history, and even at present, in St. Lucia, we had two independent candidates that won their seat. We had even Sir James Mitchell, who won his seat and as an independent candidate and became a prime minister. So the notion to think that an independent candidate cannot succeed, as I say, it's preposterous, because when we understand the power that an independent candidate has, and if we truly as a people want to succeed, and we're not being biased, we're not showing any prejudices, we're leveling the playing field and said, you know what, I like what this young man is saying. and I believe that he can make a difference for St. Patrick West, then you get on board. And on election day, you vote for the symbol, which is the hand. Questions are asked to me, oh, well, where would you get funding? You are a member of parliament. The government allocates funding to the 15 constituencies, right? To take care of the daily operations of the office needs. Then you even have funding as well to do little pet projects within the communities. Big projects, we can write policies, proposals to pass through government or parliament that we could find funding outside. So the notion that, and this is the thing we have to change, because if we do not change, then we're crippling the young ones that's coming after us. Because every young child should have a choice to choose whether he wants to join a party or if he wants to be an independent candidate. Every young person should have that choice. And when we continue to bash or to say negative things, or just out of ignorance, because you can't blame if you don't know, just out of ignorance, let's educate. Let's find the truth with things. Let's not just take things, from what people would say or how they would say it, but let's fact check it and find out. Because you could go and fact check everything I've said here, down to Theophilus Albert Marichaux, and you would get the facts on it. Down to the independent candidate, you will get the fact on it.
Yes, we can make a difference. Let's take the man, Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick's West. Let's make a difference in our community, and we can do it. Yes, we can. I know we can. And it's time for positive change. Grenada needs positive change. Grenada needs young people like you with vision. We need visionary. And that's what we need. And that's what's going to take us to the next level for the next generation.
Absolutely.
Just before we go, I want some Ajamo, Grenada, a beautiful country, My Grenada, a tune that I love, a very patriotic song. We all love Grenada. So we're going to move on. We're going to move out with a little bit of Ajamo time. My, how time flies. Coming to the wind-up time, wrap up time, My Grenada by King Ajamo. Mommy Oi! My Grenada, right here on 91.9 FM. Big up the man himself, Andre Donald. What's happening, man? Hope you're feeling good. Grenadian friends, everybody. Grenada, Carriacou, Piti Martinique, a beautiful country, beautiful island. We love it. Land of spice, where everything is nice. Winston Frederick, the real deal. St. Patrick West. Get out on election day. That's coming up on the 23rd. That's the word. And vote. Exercise your franchise. I'm Bob Frederick. God bless you. We love you. We love you, Grenada. One love. Peace out.
Man, I'm sure that many people will agree. If I say she's blessed by the Almighty, oh God. Standard of skills and talent we have down there in this land. It is too much for me to mention, yeah. The level of education keep rising to higher heights. And if I'm wrong, don't say that I'm right. No, I want to tell everybody I'm so proud of my country. Don't care wherever I may be. skills and talent we have down there in this land. It is too much for me to mention. Yeah. The level of education keep rising to higher heights. And if I'm wrong, don't say that I'm right. No, I want to tell everybody I'm so proud of my country. Don't care wherever I may be, I say Grenada belong to me. No country in this world could do the things that my country would do for me. I am proud. I love my Grenada, my homeland forever. Sing the chorus louder. Tell about Grenada, the land of my grandfather. She will always prosper. Oh, my Grenada, land of roots and culture. Grenada is such a paradise. Oh God. But a lot of folks don't realize. If we learn to pull we hand to the little that we can, we could make Grenada a better land. Hey. Mommy, oh, ah. Sometimes when I go to a foreign country, such as the United States, who's so wealthy, I just beg the Father to have some mercy. When I see madness in society, oh God. Sometimes I put on my TV to check out the daily news. The things I see that I make country. The number of crime and violence I see on the street. Sometimes I'm frightened I cannot eat. Hey. But when you check out Grenada, we have no diamond and silver, but we just live in unity, and that's what makes me happy. Is then I come to realize, oh God, my country is a paradise. Hey. I love my Grenada, my homeland forever. Sing the chorus louder. Tell them about Grenada, the land of my grandfather. She will always prosper. Whoa, my Grenada, land of peace and culture. Grenada is such a paradise. Oh God. But a lot of folks don't realize. If we learn to pull we hand, do the little that we can, we could make Grenada a better land. Hey. Mommy, oh my Grenada. Some things that does really make me unhappy is when I see people here in my country creating some false impressions about us, telling the whole world Grenadians have guns. If we should sit down and take this thing to consideration, it do no good for our nation, no. So if we want the country to be outstanding among the rest, we got to try some constructiveness. So I want to tell all you people who creating the trouble, it's time to take up on yourself and put hatred on the shelf. Then your eyes will open to see, oh God, a nice place Grenada could be, and you'll be proud. I love my Grenada, my homeland forever. Sing the chorus louder. Tell them about Grenada, the land of my grandfather. She will always prosper. Whoa, my Grenada, my food, clothes and shelter. Grenada is such a paradise, oh God. But a lot of folks don't realize If we learn to pull we hand, do the little that we can, we could make Grenada a better land. Hey. Mommy, oh my Grenada.
I love my Grenada. You love your Grenada. Grenada is for all of us. Let me put it in colloquial terms. Grenada belongs to all of we. We love Grenada. We want to make our contribution. Well, a man that's making ready to work for you is the man, the real deal, Winston Frederick, St. Patrick's West. That's the deal on election day. That's coming up June 23rd. That's the word. That's all I heard. And he gonna go out there and make a difference. And you gonna exercise your franchise. You gonna go and vote. Vote for Winston, the real deal Frederick. Let him tell you a little bit more about yourself. By the way, I apologize. I thought we only had 1 hour to do a thing. But I'm told we have the next hour to ride. So wake the town and tell the people. Call everybody all over St. Patrick's, whether you're in the West or any part, listen to the program. But we're reaching out right now for the people of St. Patrick's West. That's where Winston Frederick will be representing that constituency. Brother Winston, the man Frederick, what's going on? Talk to me. Tell me all about your plans for the people and how you come about with the symbol of the hand and what you intend to do for the people of St. Patrick's West.
Thank you, Bob.
Right.
We're back on again.
Back on.
Yeah.
We go take the jam until 8 p.m.
Absolutely.
Okay? So all of St. Patrick, everywhere, wherever we can be heard, we just want to reach out to everybody on 91.9 FM. All right? Reach out. Go ahead. Real FM.
Real FM. I just want to say that before we go a little bit further, I want to thank all the hard workers that dedicated themselves to going out in the field, speaking to people, motivating them. You know, success does not arrive by itself. It arrives with everyone participating. And if a man reaches success, they say you have to turn back to see the strong woman that is supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
As my wife.
Amen to that. They say behind every man is a strong woman.
Absolutely.
Not behind. I'll change that. Side by side.
Side by
side.
Yeah.
Every man
exactly.
is a strong woman.
And it's as we speaking about women, you know, it's imperative that one of my philosophies is that I don't look at gender in people. I see everyone as a human being.
Amen to that.
I believe that a woman can excel the same way a man can excel.
Amen. I'm with you all the way, my brother.
in their jobs, I believe that equal pay. We've been taught it's a man's world. But as I say, the 21st century says it's both men and women. And actually the 21st century is a woman's world, because a woman can articulate finesse. A man has to learn to do that.
Right.
You understand? So you know, I want to highlight that because the majority of persons that work with me are women. And, you know, as much as I would speak in the communities, you know, when my wife comes on the platform and she speaks, it's like, you know, I look at her and I just, you know, feel the sense of being elated, because one, she speaks better than me, You know, she
Well,
she
the
can
women is-
she can
they are
articulate
powerful.
a lot better than I can.
Right.
You know, but the passion she has for the people, for caring for them, for guiding their minds to see what the reality is, you know, and how can we work together as a community, not only men, but also women, involve everyone, children, you know, and I commend, excuse me, I commend both my wife and the women that go out in the field every day to speak and meet the people. And I would like to say thank you to Miss Marie, Miss Tar, Miss Nikki, Miss Anne, who's a powerhouse, you know, and is and when she's speaking, I mean, she's very motivational, you know, she has that energy, you know, and also the men, you know, that go out there as well and participate, because, you know, we work together, and our whole, the essence that we go out every day is to bring light to the people, to bring positivity to the people, to bring hope to the people, and said, listen, we can do this, we can work together. You know, I can't do this by myself, but if you believe in yourself and you believe in me, we can do it. We can make a difference. We can make the change for St. Patrick West. We can bring opportunities. We can create jobs. You know, we have one of the items, the sectors, you know, through tourism. We have the historical sites. We have Leapers Hill. It's only St. Patrick that has Leapers Hill.
Right.
We have the Slave Pen. It's only St. Patrick that has that. We have the Carib Stone. It's only St. Patrick that has the Carib Stone. No one else. Only us. And yet still, we're not exploiting those areas to create growth and development and employment for our young and or for our citizens or residents of St. Patrick West.
Well said, Winston. The real deal, Winston Frederick. Let me just tell you something. Behind every great man, like we said, it takes a good woman, side by side.
Absolutely.
I like to change that. But you know, they said a man is nothing without a woman. So, you know, you say, yes, it's a man's world, but he's nothing without a woman. So you need, and I like the fact that you believe in equal opportunity for ladies and men, for men, women, everybody gets an equal share.
Absolutely.
Because we are all citizens, we are all Grenadians.
Of course.
Yeah.
And women work as hard, or sometimes even
Even
harder
harder.
than
Yeah,
us men.
I'm with
so
you.
why shouldn't they get the same pay or even higher if they're working more than us?
Right.
You
And
know?
that's something you'll work towards.
Of course, and
Just
that's
equal
something.
pay, equal job, equal work,
Of
equal
course,
pay.
of course.
I
And-
believe in that too.
And that's something that I would champion
Yes.
for all the women, not only in our constituency, St. Patrick West, but
Grenada, period.
throughout Grenada.
Yeah. Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in that. You know, equal pay, equal work, equal pay.
Absolutely.
And ladies should be recognized and be respected
Of
for
course.
that.
Of course.
It's too much the men dominating kind of world, men chauvinistic kind of way. That's out of the window, man. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get rid of this old time tradition and let's equal respect and we'll find. I'm not telling you, we might even find some of the ladies, they will handle things better than us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got
Absolutely.
respect where respect is due.
Of course.
That's why we want to big up everybody, men and women, everybody listening, but especially the ladies who are out there working hard, taking care of the home, taking care of the children, making a difference in our community, all over Grenada, wherever you are. Ladies, I'm saying, reaching out for you. The Spice Man, Bob Frederick, the man behind the mic with everything you like, giving it to you right here on Real FM, 91.9 FM, making a difference for you. As we talk, we'll talk a little politics too, but we have to have fun. I want to big out to all the people among True St. Patrick. Say hi to Nenny, a strong lady. This lady is 93 years old and she vibrant, working hard, always there. And Nenny and everybody among True St. Patrick's, big up yourself, Montrose. And let's say hi to the man, Zach. What's going on, Zach? And John Boy. What's going on, DJ John Boy? And Dwight, the man Dwight. Mommy Jude. All the ladies and gentlemen up there, Montrose St. Patrick's, reaching out to you. This one's for Montrose. Montrose. Let's big him up. Getting back to St. Patrick West. That's where we're going to stay, because that's where the real deal going to represent. Representation for St. Patrick's West, the man Winston Frederick, and vote on election day for Winston Frederick. He'll make a difference in our community. The man, a family man. He thinks about family, about his wife, his children, and I must just say you have a beautiful family, Winston. I know you love family, and I know you'll also work for people in your constituency, for them and the family.
Absolutely.
Because you're a family man.
Of course. And
tell us about family and what you'll do for families in St. Patrick's West.
Absolutely. You know, as I go around and as I said earlier, you know, going out and meeting people, you would, you know, run into a young lady who might be a single parent, you know, and, you know, she has a hard time at times, and it becomes sometimes emotional and touching, because she's here trying to make it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the reality is the opportunities are not there for her to succeed. And she's asking, or she's requesting, what can I do? How can I find some employment, or do you have any work for me that I could do to bring some form of livelihood to her and her family? And these are the things that, you know, we have to take into consideration, because some of us, our pillows are nice and soft and comfortable, whilst those out there who we might not see or search for, their pillows are very flat and thin, and it's just like they're sleeping on rocks through the stress, and also not having employment to fulfill their daily duties and needs as well. And, you know, I take that very seriously in how we're moving forward in creating jobs for our people, especially those who are by themselves, single parents, both male and female, because you have single parent fathers that, you know, are struggling just the same to take care of their kids.
Right.
You know, and, you know, it's not just the women, but it's the men as well. So how do we create some form of security, or how do we develop our constituency? And one of the things, you know, we have to do is to invest back into our constituency and create jobs. Yes, we know that infrastructure is one of the fastest creating jobs. You know, to take construction, it alleviates some of the issues, put men to work as well as women, that they could have every week income coming in and grow their livelihoods. We can also invest into the agricultural sector. One of the plans I have for Mount Rich is expanding the area, earmarking, whether it's a half acre or acre of land, that we can build around that area and turn it into a full-fledged tourist site, where we can, you know, highlight the artifacts, the stones, give the history, put in infrastructure such as sidewalks, build an area that we can have visitors come and sit, that they could also sample some of the products that the rural areas can produce, such as teas, such as woodwork, such as chocolate, and then also have another area where we can showcase those products that the same visitors can come through and purchase, because we want those who are farming to focus on farming.
Right.
We don't just want them to farm and still have to go and look for the market. We should provide the market and keep them focusing on farming. We also need to add a light manufacturing system, a plant, such as a dryer where we can dry fruits, where we could dry teas, where we could dry chocolate, change the shape into value-added products. All these things are job creation, and people might ask, well, where are we going to get the money from? The Chinese has pledged 2,000 homes to Grenada. They haven't even built 2,000 homes. China is known for its teas. We are allies with China. China and Grenada has a bilateral and multilateral relationship. We can take and send a group of folks, whether in Mount Rich or Snell Hall, Mount Rule, and send them to China and learn how to process and light manufacture teas, so that they can come back here and teach those young people or middle-aged people who is interested in doing light manufacturing. And by doing that, we can create employment for our people without even leaving St. Patrick West. But if we don't exploit those areas, how can we add value to it? Because nothing comes from the sky. Everything is given to us.
Right.
We have it here. But it's to exploit them and to create benefit, to create the value in it that our residents and our citizens can take hold of. That's just for Mount Rich, where we can do that. And there's funding out there, as I said. There's funding there. China pledged 2,000 homes, and we only built maybe not even 1,000.
Wow.
So there's still added funding that we could go to them and say, hey, these are the things we need to do. Can you put some of that added extra resources for housing into creating an environment that will be productive for the residents of Mount Rich, Mount Rule, Snell Hall? Right? We have come down to St. Patrick, Sotez. We have a brick water issue here that we need to basically speed up the process of the continuity of it. I know they have done EIAs on that area, environmental impact studies, assessment. I don't have privy to the knowledge of it because I'm not in government, but we too need to work on that and find out how can we speed up the process of continuing the wall. And the wall shouldn't be just adding to what's there, because there must be a separation in order for the water to flow in and out to create that devastating effect of erosion lower down. Because if you continue that wall, then it leaves Mount Rodney and then it's going down to Davie and Duquesne. So we have to do it right. We have to understand how we're going to approach the development of that added brick water to secure the area of Mount Rodney.
That area is deteriorating fast.
Absolutely. Very, very fast.
Well, we got work to do.
So we have to look at that as a priority. And in doing those things, we add jobs to that because we would need manpower in order to get those things done. So these are areas that will create jobs
Right.
for the people, you know, but you're also protecting
The environment,
home-
the land, the homes.
the homes that's on the beaches, because a lot of people had to move. And it's not just saying to people, listen, you have to move. And if you don't move, do what, you know, accept the havoc that will take you. I mean, you have to understand that these are human beings.
Right.
Some of them were born there.
Right.
Sometimes it's not easy to just pick up and leave. They have sentimental values, sentimental attachment
Right.
to that area.
Yeah, I remember going down there with you at one time, you know.
Yeah.
You and yeah, we went down there.
Yeah, because we walked down there because I had a engineer walk down there to plan how we're going to develop that area. Right? So, you know, we need to chart a way forward. And we need to do it not only with the right intentions, but also with taking into consideration the people that is around there as well, and getting them to understand the dangers that would basically approach them if we do not alleviate the stress that is placed on there from the breakwater and the ocean, the erosion of the sand and all of that.
That's Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick's West. I'm telling you, the man is a visionary, ready to make things happen. But we need you to get out on election day. St. Patrick's West, the man to vote for, the real deal. You're going to see the hand, the man with a master plan, the man with the hand. Winston Frederick making a difference in our community. And you're hearing him live right here on 91.9 FM. All of, you know, Westchester, all of right here in St. Patrick's. Check out the man, Winston Frederick, the man, the real deal. And on election day, don't hesitate, participate. It's going to be great. When you come out and vote, don't worry about the independence. Listen, you don't have to be aligned with any party. The man is about to work, and he explained earlier, for those who missed it, an independent candidate. Nothing wrong with being an independent candidate. We just got to support him. He needs your people's support, people's power. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like about him. He's willing to work for the people. The people of St. Patrick's West, you have an opportunity to work the real deal, Winston Frederick, making a difference. I would like to say hi to some of the people in your constituency. Some of the people we haven't maybe mentioned or talk about, places that you've been. I know you were up in Chantemelle, you're up in Red Mud, you're up in, call some of the places where you have to go, you visit, you have to go back again and visit the people. Absolutely. And some of the needs that the people brought to your attention. While I'm on that note, I think the people of Montreach, somebody wanted a community center or a community, something for the community.
Yeah, actually it was Davy.
Davy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
You know, I want to say hello to Chris, hello to Anne, hello to Nordia. You know, Davy is a special place to me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons because it has been challenging,
right,
for most of the youths, the young people there, because one, they have no recreational area to play, you know, and to interact with each other, and there's no community center there, so it adds a little bit of frustration. You know, the good thing is that they have a beach that they can meet, play a little soccer, and you know.
So they play soccer on the beach?
Yeah, they play soccer.
They don't have a recreation.
There's no recreation ground at all.
Wow.
So this is one of a priority to me that, you know, we need to, whether it's allocate, purchase, find, you know, some land that we can develop and turn it into a recreational ground. I believe that, you know, even if we cannot lift the wages of our residents or citizens, but we can create an environment to make things comfortable for them.
Good.
One of the things that I would love to, well, you know, have in Surtees is a park. Not just, I mean, we have football fields that kids could go and play football, but we need a park. We need a park with swings, with slides, with barbecue areas that families could go and sit down, bring their kids, their young kids, slide, swing, play, interact with each other, bond, you know, spend some time. We need that. And that will be a service to our residents. And not only in Surtees, but we need it in a few more villages as well. And this is one of the things that I would like to contribute to the people of St. Patrick West. Because traveling, you see, you know, and you have to commend those countries that, you know, think ahead. And, you know, we have to also understand that they came before us. The development happened before us. But that doesn't dictate that we have to follow the same process that they did in order to create our own development. Because we can achieve through looking through their lens and creating a change where we are. Because we don't, as we grow up, the older folks will say, don't do that. And the younger one would say, well, why? The reason why they're saying don't do that, because they understood the struggles that they went through by going down that same path that you're heading to. So if we have the developed countries that have made it, went through the toil, the strife, the pain, the fire to create what they have, why do we have to go through that same pain that they did when we were a younger nation? We don't. We can take hold of the opportunities that's given to us and prioritize on the areas that needs the priority and build and develop and grow our communities and also our societies and then our constituency.
Well, that's vision for you. A visionary, Winston the man, Frederick, the real deal, ready to work for you. So people of Davie, let me tell you, making a difference. On election day, vote Winston Frederick. Vote the hand, right? That's a symbol.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what we're going to do to all the people of Davie, people of Shantimel, we know he'll be coming around and he taking notes. He willing to work for you. That's the man. You have a humble servant willing to work for you, willing to take it to the next level. That's all we ask for you to vote, vote, vote like your life depends on it. And chances are it depends on voting, on a change for a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can't wait another 5 years. You got to do it now. The time is now. The place is here. Time is now. This is the 23rd election, 2022. So you got to vote. Exercise your franchise. Get out and vote on the 23rd. And that's the word. Winston, the real deal Frederick, making a difference in our community. St. Patrick's West, get ready. Pay attention. We are urging you to get out early. Men, women, everybody. Once you're eligible to vote, we are urging you to go out and vote on the 23rd. That's the word, on the 23rd. I want to also touch on another thing that I noticed while I'm here in Grenada. A lot of people talk about youths and alcoholism, drinking. Tell me some of the programs you're willing to work, especially getting the youth. That's high here in Grenada.
Yeah.
Alcoholism.
Yeah.
We want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to make a conscious effort, to change the trajectory of where the future of our country is heading, in the sense that the youth that is growing up today, there's not much for them to do. And yes, alcohol should not be something that is pushed, to the forefront, but it happens,
Right.
because they're not engaged. One of the things that, we need to get up and running is a rehabilitation center, because some of the issues we're having is because you have young people who let out their frustrations in drinking, because if you're not active, if there's no growth, if there's no opportunities, if there's no development,
People get stagnant.
Yeah, there's some form of stagnation. And because of that, you would see that, people are turning to alcohol, to clear their mind or to feel relaxed or to take away, the pressures that, they're dealing with. Can I pinpoint one of the things that would lead someone to drink alcohol? There's many things. The frustrations of the environment, the constituency, there's no jobs. Look at the rural areas of St. Patrick. There's no development, no infrastructure. None whatsoever. Because it's not a priority to us. St. Patrick West, or the rural community from St. Mark to St. Andrews, the agricultural belt, this has been highly neglected. So I could understand the frustrations of the youth that there's no jobs being created, there's no programs developed that they could participate in and learn something or develop. And I'm not saying, some people might say, excuse me, some people might say, hey, we have programs that, teach kids and, but even if you have a program that teaches someone to have a certificate or to develop their intellect, after that, what happens? Because when they go through that program and there's nothing added to that program to be placed in a job that would fit that program that they've been given, where do they go? After the program, they just go back to sitting on the blocks. After the program, they're just going back to being, hey, there's nothing to do. So the program must result in some form of job creation that the young people can go to. Because the reasons for the programs of developing one skill, oneself, is to be placed in a next section of the economy that they can benefit.
Right. That's Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick West. You listening right here on 91.9 FM. Talking about election coming on the 23rd. That's next week, Thursday. And voting. Getting out early to the polls. Vote. Polling stations. Vote. You got to vote as your life depends on it. Chances are, depends on it. That will make the difference in your community. That's why it's imperative. You have to vote on the 23rd. You got to make difference in your community. So that's the word. The voting on the 23rd. Winston, the real deal, Frederick, gonna make things happen for St. Patrick's West. That's what we're talking about. And what I'm here, like you're talking about alcoholism and young people. Not only young people, people of all ages.
Of course.
This thing become
Of course.
a chronic in the blood, and they drink
Absolutely.
excessively. And that's something all over Grenada. I'm not saying only St. Patrick West.
No.
This is something we have to confront.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of social issues we have to confront. We just doing a radio program. We may not have time to get in all the intricate details, but what we're doing, we're touching on subject, bulletin points, so to speak, where we're touching on things that an independent candidate really observing and wants to make a difference in our community. The community we're talking about, St. Patrick's West. That's where we're talking about. You want to really work on for your behalf in that community and working with the people. And watch something about not only you have to listen to the people too and listen to what they say and work with them. Working with a community, making a difference in a community, that's what Winston Frederick is all about. He is the real deal, making things happen. I like to say to all the bus drivers, truck drivers, politicians, pretty women, pretty ladies everywhere, hard-working ladies, bus drivers, truck drivers, that's what we are in Grenada, St. Patrick's. But St. Patrick's West, we concentrating on St. Patrick West. That's the constituency of Winston Frederick, the man, Earl the Pearl, the man making a difference in that area. Winston Frederick, the real deal for St. Patrick West. And we got to vote, exercise your franchise. So, Brother Winston, keep on doing, keep on going, keep on going. Grenada. Talk to the people, man. Tell them what you're going to do for them. In different areas, we did talk about Montreux and them different.
Montreux, Montbridge.
Yeah. You call all the areas? Yeah.
No, Hermitage.
Right? Hermitage too?
Absolutely. Part of Hermitage is part of St. Patrick West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hermitage. Let's go and big up Hermitage.
And in Hermitage, we are blessed with the chocolate factory.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then we also have Belmont Estate, which also produces the chocolate as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, here we go back into agriculture again, because St. Patrick is an agriculture
and movement
parish, and we have light processing factories as the chocolate factory. Now, this light processing factory, we need to expand the capacity of it in order to ingest more of the cocoa to create jobs and also to change and create the value-added product. Just to delve a little bit into it, Grenada has what you call the fine flavored dark chocolate. There's only 10 countries in the Caribbean and Latin America that has that fine flavored dark chocolate.
Some people tell me that's an aphrodisiac,
Absolutely. And out of those 10 countries, Grenada is one of those 10 countries.
Grenada has its place,
right?
man. Yeah.
Now, our cocoa, the chocolate, the cocoa, we sell that same fine flavored dark chocolate on the stock commodity market to compete with Ivory Coast, Ghana, and other countries that have none of the fine flavored dark chocolate or the high flavonoids within the chocolate. We sell our cocoa on the stock commodity market for either $1,900 or $2,100 or $2,200 US a metric ton, right?
Wow.
That same fine flavored dark chocolate, we also ingest and create a value-added product with it. if we expand the capacity of those factories, we have one in Victoria, we have one and two in St. Patrick. If we expand the capacity, we are able to create jobs just by expanding the capacity of those light manufacturing companies.
There you have an opportunity of generating
Of
income
course.
and creating jobs.
Of course. And not only that, we are also allies with the countries that consume this high dark flavored chocolate, such as Japan, Europe, New Zealand, Netherlands. So if we have these countries as allies, why are we exporting our fine flavored dark chocolate to the same European countries that we also have to compete when we change that into an added value product? Because they're purchasing it from us at a lower rate, right?
And
They're
then-
now
then-
taking that
and
same
sell-
product,
and sell it.
add value to it, and sell it, and
Make
we now have to compete with them because they're getting the same product that
Right.
we're selling from us.
That's madness.
How does that make any sense?
Nah, that's madness.
So until we are willing to make these hard decisions and willing to be mature enough to grow and develop and increase our capacity and start ingesting everything that we produce, then we would see some growth and development happening for us.
There you go. Another opportunity that Grenada wins eventually.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because we're allies with these countries.
Right.
And if we're allies, that means that we are willing to negotiate.
That's correct. And St. Patrick West, they grow a lot of cocoa in St. Patrick West.
Absolutely.
Great for agriculture.
Absolutely.
So let's get ready and to vote. Make a difference for Winston, the real deal Frederick. The real deal, Winston Frederick, St. Patrick West. I cannot emphasize this enough. The real deal, Winston Frederick, the real deal on election day for St. Patrick's West. Vote, vote, vote Winston Frederick. Vote the hand, making a difference in our land. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we need. Visionary leaders, visionary people that are willing to work for the government, work for the country, work for the betterment of Grenada. So when we move up, we all move as one body, one people, one destination. That's what we're going to do for you. Winston the Man Frederick in studio, live on Real FM. As real as you can get. This is it, baby. And nothing about this often imitated, but never ever quite duplicated. This is the original. The original Bob Frederick, live from New York City to Grenada, St. Patrick's, Grenada, my hometown. I was born out here in St. Patrick's. Boy, dealing with St. Patrick West, the man, Winston Frederick, doing the real deal, baby. That's what we all about. That's what the man is homegrown cocoa and nutmeg, banana. That's what we are, man.
That's right.
Great, and spices too.
And spices
Lots
too.
of spice. Grenada, lots of spices where everything nice. Anybody else you want to big up and say hi to? All right, about now I want to say hi to the man Carotene. Carotene up in Montrose, St. Patrick. They call him Carotene. Carotene, what's happening? Yeah, big up Carotene and Zach up there in Montrose, St. Patrick's. Zach and Sharon and everybody. I know they listen to Real FM. That's the real deal. Real FM, making things happen in St. Patrick's. Big up Andre Paul, the man Andre. Andre Donald, Mr. Andre D. What's going on, man? Every time. Yes, Brother Winston, anybody else, I want you to reach out for the people
Absolutely.
I know that been working, and you reach out for them in different communities.
I want to say hi and hello to Nurse Spirit.
No spirit.
Yeah, I mean, she's a darling.
Was she in Montrose, St. Patrick's? Or
No. She's in Mali.
Mali.
Yeah.
No spirit in Mali. How are you doing this afternoon, this evening?
I mean, she has, this is a lady that has worked and retired and still come back to the community and assist the nurses, in the medical station in Sautez. And, you have to, say thank you to these people. Because as I always say, we got here. What we have now is what we inherited because of those who came before us through sweat, tears, and blood.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah.
Sacrifice for us. We didn't start to sacrifice yet, but they did. And what we have at present is what we inherited through their strength, through their sweat. So that equity that they built for us, we are enjoying it now. So it's our time to work and build and sweat and cry to build for those that will come after us.
Right. We got to lay the foundation. Well, people, the people whose shoulders we stood on, we want to leave that and set foundation for other generation to come.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And these are the things that we have to, contemplate on. Is the future, how we want to see our constituency going,
Right.
the trajectory we want to allow it to head, to be guided by. Is when that day, the 23rd of June, is over, and we have not elected someone who is competent, who has the people at their heart, in his heart. If we haven't elected someone who know that and believes in the human spirit, and know that the human spirit is resilient, and with a little bit of determination and sacrifice, that we can fight together, we can build together, we can grow together. This is what you have to look for in your candidate.
That's right.
Those who have sacrificed, not sacrifice because they've been given something to give to you, but sacrifice where they weren't given anything, who had fought for what they had or their family has, and is willing to share it with you to make a better life for you. This is what you have to look at when judging your candidate.
Amen to that. Sautez, all over St. Patrick's West, everywhere, you're listening to the candidate, Winston, the real deal Frederick. This man gonna make a difference in our community. I urge you to get out on the 23rd and vote for the man, bright and early. Make your voice be heard. Speak loud and proud on the 23rd. That's the word, making the thing happen. Voila! I'm here. I want to say hi to my cousin, the man, Raymond Courtney. What's going on, bro? Raymond Courtney, my days, everybody in my days. I want you to get out and vote, man. My days. Big up, Raymond, man. What's up, cuz? Yeah, and I have to say hi to Miss Bernadette down in Fort Judy. Hey, Bernadette, cousin Bernadette, what's happening down there in Fort Judy? That's a bigger hop every time. Bev back in New York, Miss Beverly Frederick, what's going on, Bev? Hold it down, baby. Baby doll. We're making things happen for you. Doing it all right here. East Siders, West Siders, and all the people all over right now in taxi drivers, bus drivers, truck drivers. I'm telling you, people, you got to vote. You got to go out there and exercise your franchise, but especially St. Patrick's West. I'm urging you, make the farmers, everybody, hardworking people, all the time. People who are employed, unemployed, want a difference in our community. Don't feel you don't have to participate. Yes, you have. And don't feel you're too young to vote. Once you're 18 years and older, you got to exercise your franchise. Oh, by the way, you have to be registered too. Let's hope you're registered.
Yeah,
right?
well-
Winston, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, absolutely. They have to be well. It's
over now.
It's over now.
You got
You
it.
know,
But the people who are some people.
Absolutely.
I'm saying this because some people register and on election day they don't go out and
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah.
They feel their voice wouldn't be heard.
Yeah.
Yes, you could make a difference.
Absolutely.
If you got to be in it to win it.
Of course.
You can't be outside. You got to jump in. And politics plays a role in all our lives.
Absolutely.
The food you eat, the prices you pay for gas, for food, for living, for your clothing, your family, your children, the children you take care of, you send them to nursery, you send them to school, your books you buy. But it's politics. All
Absolutely.
politics involve every walks of life.
Of
I mean,
course.
every way. Politics plays a major role. That's what we got to get out and make a difference.
Absolutely.
Making a difference for St. Patrick's West, the man, Winston, the real deal, Frederick, every time, man. Go ahead, Winston.
I just want to say hi to Lucianne, to Len in Red Mud. You know, Len makes a special Tanya log
Wow.
and some roast bakes.
Roast bakes at Tanya
man.
Log?
Yeah.
Wow,
And,
that sounds good, man.
yeah, and you know, I just want to say thank you for all your support, and thank you for the, you know, I've always, you know, when I head up to Red Mud, I know that no matter how tired I am from walking those hills, you know, when I reach by Len, there's always something,
Yeah.
you know, there to grub on, you know. So you have to appreciate people.
Yeah, man, you appreciate people.
You
man.
have
But
to
of course-
appreciate people
but
for
of course.
their kindness, their sacrifice. You know, as little as it is, whatever someone does for you, you should appreciate it, because they didn't have to do it.
Right.
They didn't have to make the sacrifice, but they do it, and they do it for a good cause.
Okay.
You know, and because of the love for other people as well. So, you know, if I did miss anyone, I want to say thank you to all, you know, our listeners. We really appreciate you tuning in. June 23rd is the day. We're looking forward for that support, for that change, for that growth, for that development. And also know that whatever you do, do it on your own terms, not on someone else's terms. Do it on your own terms. Make sure you think about it. Make sure that the candidate that represents you is competent, who is willing to listen to the people, who is willing to be the advocate for the people, who is willing to understand the people. And I would like to say thank you to the people of St. Patrick West. See you tomorrow. We'll be back on tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back at 6
right?
o'clock.
At 6.
That's it.
We'll be back
Oh.
from 7 to
7. Okay.
Oh,
7.
7.
7 to 9.
I'm 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Be back right here on Real FM 91.9 FM. All of New York, all over listening, people all around the world checking in. This is the man, Andre D, man. Andre Donald, his station. I'm Bob Frederick, the man that you like behind the mic with everything you like, giving it to you just the way you want it. Are we going to do it again? I want to say hi to little Chelsea, Ava, and Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Chelsea. Hello, Ava. And Sally, the lady herself, Miss Sally, and also Mabel. What's going on, Mabel? That was some nice bacon saltfish this morning. I enjoyed that. I could go for some of that again. And I have to say hi to Nabi. Nabi, thank you very much. Yeah, Nabi.
no problem.
Yeah, you've been real. I want a little politics time again. Are you going to vote now? You're going to have to vote on the 23rd of June and vote St. Patrick's West for Winston Frederick. It's politics time again. We'll be back tomorrow, God's willing, from 7, right? 7 o'clock. Make that date and please don't be late. Don't hesitate. Participate. Bob Frederick loves you. God bless you. Winston Frederick love you. God bless you.
God bless. Thanks.
Big up. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, John boy.